everyone, I hope you're all doing well and taking care, and welcome to this brand new Doctor Who video on the channel. So today was the release of the new edition of Doctor Who magazine, and I've just finished reading it, and I would say it's one of the best Doctor Who magazine issues yet. It's definitely got a lot of behind the scenes content around the new era, and today I'm going to break down what in my opinion are the 3 highlights from this Doctor Who magazine. But I'm not going to go into it in too much detail because I think everyone, if you can, go out and support the magazine, because in my opinion it's a lot better now. It's getting a lot more behind the scenes content, which is exactly what I think it needed. So yeah, if you can, I do recommend you buy the magazine yourself and check it out. But I will go over some highlights in today's video. As always, before we get started, if you're new to the channel and you do like Doctor Who, like myself, then a subscribe would be appreciated. And also if you can give this video a thumbs up, that also helps me out a lot as well. But yeah, let's go on and have a look at some of the highlights from the latest edition of Doctor Who magazine. Right, so the first piece of news would be in relation to Doctor Who's budget, because in recent months it has been reported by the press that the budget going forward would be around £10 million per episode. However, in the latest edition of Doctor Who magazine, Russell T Davies has confirmed that unfortunately that is not the case, and although there will be an increase in the budget due to the Disney Plus deal, which is obviously good news, it won't be as much as £10 million. And basically Russell said us Doctor Who fans should lower our expectations a little, because although there is going to be a bit of a budget increase, it's not going to be to the degree of shows like Game of Thrones, for example. So yeah, technically this is negative news, but I don't think it really is that bad of news, because the thing is with Doctor Who has always been a more budget friendly type of show, and that's never affected the show really that much in the past, as long as it's good storytelling. So my take is, as long as Russell gives us good storytelling, then the more limited budget that Doctor Who has always had won't affect the show, because the storytelling is what should be the key to Doctor Who, not exactly how it looks. And even then, if we look at the latest era, especially Power of the Doctor, Doctor Who looks great. So yeah, I don't think Doctor Who necessarily needs this massive budget. So there we go. There won't be a £10 million budget. They don't say how much the budget's going to be, but they do mention they're going to have to do like savings and stuff like they normally do. But overall, it doesn't really bother me that much, because at the core is storytelling. And as long as Russell gives us good storytelling, then the budget won't really matter that much, in my opinion. The second piece of news is in relation to the casting of the 15th Doctor, because Phil Collison, who is an executive producer on the new era of Doctor Who, he has confirmed that the auditions process for the 15th Doctor included male actors, female actors, and also one non-binary actor as well. And I'm glad to hear this, because there has been concern from some fans over recent months that maybe Russell was on purpose going back to a male Doctor. But we now know that was not the case. He auditioned all genders for the role. And obviously in the end, it sounds like Ncuti Gatwa got the role just because he was the best person who auditioned for it. He was just who they loved the most. So yeah, I'm glad that this has kind of been confirmed and we don't have to think that Russell just casted Ncuti because he's a male and he wanted to go back to a male Doctor. I don't think that was ever going to be the case. I think Russell is a progressive writer, and it's most likely the case that, yeah, he auditioned all genders, and it's just that Ncuti Gatwa was the best person in the end. And I've said this before, just because Ncuti Gatwa isn't female doesn't mean his casting isn't groundbreaking. This is still the first full-time person of colour in the role of the Doctor, so it's still very important to a lot of fans out there. So yeah, I just thought we'd talk about that, because it is good to know that, they did audition female actresses for the role, and it wasn't just male actors going forward. And the final piece of news that I found very interesting is that it was confirmed that originally Russell T Davies was only supposed to return for the 60th anniversary. So basically, Russell approached the BBC, I believe it was in the end of 2020 or the start of 2021. He approached the BBC and he said he wanted to come back and write an anniversary special with the return of David Tennant and Catherine Tate. And this was because mostly of the lockdown Who rewatches that happened in the COVID lockdown of 2020. Basically, Russell just wanted to work again with David and Catherine, and they wanted to do a sort of Doctor Who reunion special, and it was going to be a one-off, and that was it. But basically, when Russell got in touch with the BBC ultimately asked him if he would come on board and become a full-time showrunner once again, and basically Russell said he thought about it, and in the end he decided to go for it because of the BBC's exciting plans that they had for the show going forward. So yeah, that's quite interesting. They also mentioned as well that the Disney Plus deal wasn't actually Russell's idea. That was the BBC's idea. They wanted in 2021 going forward to have a streaming partner for the show, and basically yeah, it was up to the BBC and not Russell on that. And I'm guessing in the end that they decided to go with Disney. I'm guessing they also looked at other options because they called it a streaming partner. So I'm guessing they also looked at maybe Netflix and Amazon Prime and those sort of services. But in the end, they decided to go with Disney Plus. Russell didn't say why the BBC wanted a streaming partner, but I'm guessing it's to do with that little bit of an increased budget that they get with a streaming partner. So it sort of makes sense. But there we go, that is the three, in my opinion, the three main highlights from the latest edition of Doctor Who magazine. Before we finish up, I am of course going to mention the new alien that has just been seen on the filming of Series 14. I haven't got too much to say on it because we don't have any context what this monster is and what it's up to or anything like that. Some people are saying it could be that politician guy from the last filming update I did. Maybe it's him in disguise, although that would maybe be too similar to the Aliens of London and World War III story from Series 1 where politicians were secretly aliens, so I'm not too sure. But yeah, it's an interesting slug looking type of creature, and I'm interested to see where that goes, and of course I will cover that more in future filming updates as we get them. But yeah guys, thank you all very much for watching this video. As I said at the start, please do support Doctor Who magazine. Do check it out because there's lots of behind the scenes information in there, and it's a very good issue, and I'm glad that Doctor Who magazine is getting much better now with giving us behind the scenes content as the months go on, especially in this long break period while we wait for November this year. But yes, thank you for watching, take care, and I will see you all next time. Bye for now.